I had always heard whispers about the old apartment building on the corner of Elm Street. Towering 15 stories high, its cracked windows and peeling paint hinted at its age and the secrets it held. Rumors of ghostly encounters and eerie happenings floated around town. But I never believed in such things, not until I moved in. My first night in the apartment was uneventful, but things quickly changed. It started with strange noises, footsteps in the hall when no one was there, the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor above me, though that apartment was vacant. Then there were the cold spots and icy patches that seemed to move around the building. But it was the elevator that truly unnerved me. On the third day, I met Mrs. Jenkins, an old woman who had lived in the building for decades. Her eyes, clouded with age, held a look of perpetual fear. "Beware of the 13th floor," she whispered to me. "Don't ever let the elevator stop there." I laughed it off, thinking she was just a superstitious old lady. But curiosity got the better of me. That night, as I returned from work, I decided to test her warning. I stepped into the creaky old elevator and pressed the button for the 13th floor. The elevator shuddered and began its slow ascent. The lights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. When it stopped at the 13th floor, the doors creaked open, revealing a dark, empty hallway. A chill seeped into the elevator, making me shiver despite the summer heat outside. And then I heard it, whispers, soft and insidious, calling my name. I stepped out, drawn by an inexplicable urge. The whispers grew louder, more urgent. I followed them down the dim corridor, my heart pounding in my chest. The air was freezing, my breath visible in the gloom. Suddenly, I saw a shadowy figure at the end of the hall. It was tall, with glowing red eyes and an aura of malevolence that made my skin crawl. Fear rooted me to the spot as the figure glided towards me. I tried to move, to run, but my legs refused to obey. The whispers turned into a cacophony of voices, screaming and pleading. Just as the shadowy figure reached me, the wall behind me opened up, revealing a dark, gaping hole. The entity's hand, cold as ice, grabbed my arm, pulling me toward the abyss. With a surge of adrenaline, I broke free and ran back to the elevator. The doors mercifully closed behind me, and I jabbed the button for the ground floor. As the elevator descended, I could hear the whispers fading, but their chilling echo remained in my mind. Over the next few days, I noticed fewer and fewer residents in the building. Those who remained spoke of strange sightings and terrifying encounters. One man claimed he saw a ghostly figure in the elevator, staring at him with hollow eyes. Others spoke of being dragged into darkness by an unseen force. Mrs. Jenkins was gone, her apartment empty and silent. Desperation filled the air. People tried to leave, but the elevator seemed to have a mind of its own, always stopping at the 13th floor. Those who tried the stairs found themselves lost in a maze of corridors that always led back to that cursed floor. One by one, the residents disappeared. Some were left in the dead of night, fleeing in terror. Others simply vanished, their apartments abandoned, their belongings left behind. I knew it was only a matter of time before it came to me. On my last night in the building, I barricaded myself in my apartment, every light on, every lock secured. But it didn't matter. The whispers found me, penetrating the walls, filling my mind with their insidious chant. The temperature dropped, and I felt its presence in the room, the shadowy entity watching, waiting. The walls began to shake, and the dark hole appeared. The last thing I saw was its glowing red eyes as it pulled me into the void. The next morning, the building was silent. Not a single soul remained. The 13th floor had claimed them all, and the old apartment stood empty once more, waiting for its next victims.